All right, wish you a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a rocking day. Joseph Das from Bangalore and myself, Sanjay Singh, we're going to patch up for a live Tete program on Impress to Express in Sales. Fantastic. All right, Kaushik Sutene, you're welcome there, my friend. All right, you're welcome. Hello to you. So, shortly at 9 p.m. sharp, we are going to patch up Joseph Das and myself. We are going to talk to each other on Impress to Express in Sales, and that's what we are looking at. Okay, let me see if I can get Kaushik. Okay, no, I haven't got him yet. All right, I'm waiting for Joseph Das to patch me. Okay, I am on. All right. All right, Om Shanti, Kaushik Sutone, Prisha Bharti. You're all welcome. Wonderful to see all of you. The fact that you're here today means that you love the world of sales. And believe me, we're going to rock it today. We, as in you, me, Joseph, all of us together. So this is not a program where we're going to just sit and listen. All right, Richie, Rafiq, Shafiq, Om Shanti, Prisha Bhati. All right, you're all welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining in there. All right. Oh, Manish Bhatti is your father. Oh, wonderful. That's my Rotarian friend. So, Prisha Bhatti, you're welcome. All right, fantastic. Please keep your sound mute, Reena Singh. All right, Rafiq, Shafiq. All right, Sales F5X has joined. All right, guys, it's very exciting. We are very shortly going to have with us Mr. Joseph Das. So Joseph is going to be here. All right, Joseph is here. So Joseph, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you. I'm humbled and honored to be.
Your audio is not coming, Joseph.
It's not coming.
Joseph,
okay,
just check your audio.
See. Yeah. Just a minute.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? All right, Sanjay. All right. It's a privilege to be with you, Sanjay.
You are welcome, Joseph. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just quickly introduce Joseph Das. So, I'll introduce Joseph, and Joseph is going to introduce me. That's the kind of fun we're going to have today. Joseph, you're ready for all the fun?
Absolutely, Sanjay. I'm jazzed up.
All right, fantastic, guys. Joseph Das started his sales career with Eureka Forbes way back in 1990. Am I right, Joseph?
Yeah, 1988, Sanjay.
1988, Joseph started his career with Eureka Forbes. And all of you know that if you are an ex-Eureka Forbes guy, you have killed sales in your life. So Joseph has got this experience in sales. He runs a company. He's a co-founder of a company called Sales5x.com, which had the privilege of figuring into yourstory.com recently. So he is an accomplished sales coach, sales trainer, and joins me today in this wonderful program, which we say, the title of the program is Impress to Express in Sales. And I see Sakshi Agarwal there. Sakshi, you're welcome. I welcome you to this group. Sakshi Agarwal there, Executive Director, Sage Group, Bhopal. Yusuf Jamil, thank you so much for joining in. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, I was just introducing Joseph Das to you, and that's Joseph for you, totally immersed in sales, totally, fully dipped himself into sales all his life. And so wonderful, Joseph, to have you here to join me today in this wonderful program where we are going to discuss on Impress to Express in Sales. Fantastic, Joseph. Your opening remarks.
Now, you just cannot imagine the kind of excitement it's bubbling in my system. As it is, I love sales, Sanjay, no doubt about it. I knew that I was good with people, and I'm really grateful that I chose this path. When you sell, and when you sell well, you become a blue-eyed boy for any organization, because you are the person who brings in money. And jo paisa lata hai, Singh is king. All right.
Yeah.
And I am at a deeper visceral level, Sanjay. I'm so happy and delighted to connect to you as a fellow, Eurostarian. We started a career way back in those days. Those days it was tough. We were on our heels, and you also walked a long way, 3 decades in sales, and then you're also a founder of your own company by the name of Sales Concepts, and you're a mentor, you're a coach. There is so much of, so much to give to our community, to our society, to the people, who would like to be excited. I've met engineers who want to, make their career in sales, Sanjay. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I'm myself an engineer, but I made my career in sales. I started my sales career way back in '85 when I joined Eureka Forbes, selling door-to-door vacuum cleaners. And I think whatever I've learned in sales, 90% of that is what I learned at Eureka Forbes. So it's such a great fun to meet a fellow Eureka Forbes person. So Joseph and myself, we have both started our career with Eureka Forbes, and it's just super awesome to be talking to you, Joseph, on this program today. So wonderful. We have a lot of people joining in, and guys, please don't forget to put all your comments. No holds barred. There is no hold barred today. Just put your questions the way it comes to your mind. Don't try to veneer it with the right words. Don't try to camouflage it with the right diplomacy. Just come out pure. I want your pure questions, and Joseph and myself will be most willing and excited to answer all your questions. Fantastic, guys. The topic today is Impress to Express in Sales. So Balakrishna, hi there. You have joined just now. Stormy Clicks. Yes, Balakrish, Ricky Agra. Joseph and myself, we are waving to you guys. Obi Gautam,
Absolutely,
you are welcome.
absolutely.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
So
Happy
we
to
start
have you
this
guys.
program.
Happy to have you.
Happy to have you guys. Absolutely happy to have all of you. So the program title is Impress to Express in Sales. So Joseph, do we start with this with the saying that, is it important that we first impress? Because if you don't impress, then no one listens to us. So do you feel that it's important that we have to impress anyhow, come what may? What's your opinion about it?
Absolutely, Sanjay, because throughout my career, I believe that, first you have to sell yourself before you could, even bring your product or service in the limelight. And first is the impression, and only after that is followed by the impact you make on your prospect. So it is a very, very important aspect of selling that, the first impression, what the saying goes like, is the last impression, Sanjay. So I put a lot of money on the first component of sales, is to really, really impress your prospect. What is your opinion about how do you think in the larger context of selling, Sanjay?
Oh, I am a very strong believer that if you are not able to sell yourself in the first impression, then you're out of the game. So if you're out of the game, then the game of sales doesn't even start. So for me, when the game of sales starts, before anything else sells in this world, the first thing that sells is the salesman or the salesperson. So if your impression is not strong, you will not sell. And if you don't sell, you don't have the time, you don't have the option to selling your product, man. So you got to sell yourself. So I fully agree that the first impression is always to sell the salesman himself. Now, having said that, Joseph, having said that, let's assume that I have been able to create a kind of good first impression, and the customer falls in love with me as in the first impression. Is that half of the battle won, or is it just beginning of the battle? I mean, what do you feel on that? Is it the only impression that we are trying to make, or there are a series of more impressions that we need to make?
I'll tell you, Sanjay. See, the fundamental of sales is what? People do business with people they like and they trust, right? That's the fundamental on all the sales equation is built upon. Now, that for me is 50% of the battle is won. Likability factor. there are people, I've worked in organizations, you have worked in organizations, we understand that once, people like you, they may, let go some negative aspects of your own personality, or, your approach or your interaction. They could, avoid it. But that stands, it stands good even today that 50% of the battle is won when you make a very good first touch point impact on your prospect. Taking that further, Sanjay, there are many things have changed, right? But when we are actually old school boys of selling, right?
Exactly.
We are not even, the tech savvy guys, but now we have adapted to, being technologically. I love technology, and things have changed, and I love and fallen in love with technology just to stay relevant and not become a dinosaur.
You can call ourselves the grandfathers now. We are now grandfathers in sales. Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
All right, good.
But now
let me just quickly welcome a few people. Arunuta Singh from Delhi, you are welcome to this program. Dinesh Chand, Lahore, Janiket, Lado Aniket, you are all welcome to the program, guys. For those of you who have joined a bit late, let me just brief you. We are talking live with Mr. Joseph Das, co-founder Sales5x.com, and myself, Sanjay Singh, founder of Strategic Concepts India Private Limited. We're talking live. Old boys in sales started our career with Eureka Forbes in 85 and 1988. Many of you were not born then. And here we are talking live on Impress to Express in sales. So all those of you who are still joining, Sada, Kaushal, Hardik, you're all welcome. Thank you so much for your hello. Yes, Joseph, sorry to butt in. Yes, Joseph, over to you.
Yeah. Few people from my side also coming. Well, I welcome Junaid Khan. I welcome Bala. I welcome Deepak. I welcome Hardik. It's nice to have you guys, and so determined and focused to take, the maximum out of this live session. So yes, let's continue. So many things have changed now, right, Sanjay? So tell me, Sanjay, how do you feel about selling 3 decades back and selling now, right from your first touch point with your customer? Tell me that, sir.
Seriously, when I started my sales career, it was door to door. I mean, we were knocking. We first learned how to put your foot in the door and how to get an entry, right? So we started our selling career, or rather I started my selling career where everything was physical. You could physically see the customer, you could physically touch the customer, you can allow the customer to physically touch your product, and everything was like very much animate. Correct. As it has moved over in the last 3 decades, I find that a lot of these elements are becoming invisible. Like today, as you and I am talking, and we have this hundreds of people who are joining us on Instagram, many of them we don't know, right? But still we are kind of reaching out to them. So for me, the major change that has really happened in all this time is the ability to learn how to deal with invisible customers. Because today we need to be masters to learn how we can influence an invisible customer. Because if you're not able to influence an invisible customer, now whether you use technology for it or whatever other methods you use for it. All right, we have got a question there, Sada Kaushal. Physical sale is the best, sir, anytime. The human touch is always compelling. I agree with you, Sada Kaushal. But then, Sada, please understand, it's not left to you or me or Joseph. It's the world, it's the market forces that decides what form of selling is going to operate. And for today, physical selling is slowly going to the backyards, and digital selling is slowly coming up forward. Of course, depends on the kind of product that you're handling. So Joseph, you handle a lot of customers in South because you're yourself based out of Bangalore. So tell me something, and as a national coach, you also handle people across the country. Tell me something that, do you find any difference between the customers in North India and South India?
Of course, there's a lot of difference, Sanjay. The first key barrier is the language barrier. All right. You must be well aware that people
Joseph,
from
just
South
one sec.
India,
There's a question for you, Joseph. There's a question for you. Stormy Clicks is asking a question. I think lead
Mhm.
generation is part of your job. As you just knock doors, you generate leads. Today with internet, you generate leads in a different process. Do you agree? So Joseph, that question is
Mhm.
for you.
Yeah. I agree to some extent. It depends on the industry, the product. Our days, we used to generate lead, right? Even in Eureka Forbes, knocking door and taking the appointments in the evening to demonstrate the vacuum cleaner. We used to do that. So partly yes, partially I agree. But I always believe that to generate lead is normally a marketing role, a marketing responsibility. So it's up to the marketing department to generate leads. But small and medium companies, Sanjay, they don't normally have this kind of luxury for having a marketing team. So that time what happens, the entrepreneur himself has to get into all this thing. He has to wear all multiple hats. There it is acceptable. There's no thumb rule that I have to do this or you have to do this. Whenever there is a flexibility, there's an opportunity, you have to move ahead, you have to generate leads, and then you have to see how you can convert those leads. Hope I've answered your question, Deepak.
Fantastic, fantastic. Stormy clicks. That answer was for you, Stormy clicks. So if you've understood the answer, just give a yes so that we know that your question was answered. So back to your the question, Joseph. Do you find any difference between customers in North and South India?
Absolutely. I find a big difference in the South and North India is the language barrier. First is that, and especially, people coming from the South belt, they struggle to, get used to Hindi, especially. And South Indians, I have seen, they are very logical in their approach. North Indians, open to Hindi, little bit of English, very emotional in decision making. They get emotionally involved into the whole aspect. I've seen people who are impulsive decision makers in North India. So
All
emotions
right.
are big
So
thing in North India. South India is logic.
all right. So emotions in North and rational in South. That's how the division is there for Joseph. Wonderful, guys. Don't keep your questions back.
Yeah.
Please storm us with your question. Okay, Virendra Vyas says time is of digital selling. All right, Virendra, I agree with you. Ricky Agra, which is the main driving force of sales in Indian market? Quality, price, product, value for money. So he gives four options. Joseph, take that question,
Hmm.
man. What is important,
Uh,
quality or price or product or value for money? Ricky Agra.
I will tell Ricky that quality comes topmost. Even if if you're selling at peanut value, and if your product is crappy or your service is crappy, before you could even begin, you're finished, Ricky. So quality for me comes first, and then it is followed by the other aspects of selling. That's my point, Ricky. Hope I have answered your question, Ricky.
All right, so quality is most important as far as Joseph is concerned. I personally believe, my belief on that question is that there is always a risk on the table of the customer, and to minimize the risk, the customer buys a product. So whenever the customer talks with you about the price or the discount, don't listen to the price question. Instead, try to put the risk on his table. Because if the customer understands the risks that he is going to mitigate, he will appreciate the value that your product is providing, and then maybe you are able to handle the price question better. All right, that's my viewpoint on it. I go forward. There's another question from Bala Krishna.
Mhm.
And Bala question is, I want to ask this, how does Amazon make a lot of sales without calling any customers? They just sell with their marketing, post campaigns, offers. They have a few sales people. Your idea on it? Yes, Bala Krish, you are absolutely right. But who told you that sales is not a part of marketing? Sales is very much a part of marketing, and marketing is very much a part of sales, friend. So on the digital world, you do not roam around the streets to go door to door selling. But then please remember, Bala Krish, that whenever you are surfing on the internet, there are small ads which keeps on popping up on your head and keeps on reminding you of different kind of product. What is it? That's your online salesman. Bala Krish, have you heard of chatbots? So you have
Mm,
intelligent chatbots today, which are
mm,
programmed which are basically online sellers. So Bala Krish, even a chatbot is an online salesman, and that online salesman is actually selling to you. It's just that the modus operandi has changed. Sales has not changed, Bala. Only with marketing, you cannot push a product. You cannot push a product only with marketing. You can influence a customer with marketing, but with sales, you take the product and take the money out of his pocket. So both complement each other, Bala. So I agree to whatever you've written, but just a slight alignment to your thoughts. Don't think that Amazon is not selling. I think Amazon is the biggest salesperson on the earth today, the way they are ramping the market. So do you agree with me on Bala's question, Joseph?
100%. For me, Amazon, I am conditioned. If I want anything, my first consideration is Amazon. Sanjay, let me be frank, open here. And Amazon, not only influences me at a deeper level, but it also, is controlling the market today. You see, as far as the price is concerned, as far as the quality metrics is concerned, as far as the risk mitigation is concerned, I'm very, very comfortable to take anything, from Amazon without giving it a second thought. I'm completely sold on Amazon.
Fantastic. So Joseph is sold on Amazon. Let me quickly welcome Vipin Yashpal Singh, Samir Gautam. Oh God, Samir, you're welcome, man. Yogesh Dhumne from Institute, you're welcome. Vishal Motwani, Sisha Singh, Ishan Kundu. All right, Mukesh Singh, Dreams Unlimited from London. Ricky Agra, Ajay Unbeaten, Sada Kausha. Oh my God, it's storming there. Thank you so much for the great response that all of you are showing for this program. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have come late, who have just joined, let me tell you that we are talking live. Myself, Sanjay Singh, we're talking with Joseph Das, co-founder, sales5x.com. Fantastic. Joseph, another question just coming up from Sarda Kaushal. Sir, how to convince someone at this situation when our price is higher than the competitors? Yeah, Joseph, your take on it.
Yeah.
Price higher than the competitor.
If, see, there are two aspects of looking at it, Sanjay. First is that if you're selling a commodity, okay, if it is a commodity, then you got to ensure that you price match to match. You match the price because the customer will refuse to pay you. But if you are selling services, then there is an opportunity for you to have your own differentiator, to what I normally call as value differentiator. All right, if the market is charging me, let's say 10,000 rupees, and if you're charging me 11,000 rupees, then you have to give me 1-2 compelling reasons, compelling value differentiators of why do you charge me that. So that's a lot of homework for you to go and do your stuff and come and tell it in a compelling way. You have to give that ROI presentation to your customer and let him know that, these are the 1, 2, 3 reasons why I'm charging X money more than my competition. This is the extra you'll get out of, taking services from me. So it's all about your value differentiator. It's how you are unique, different, what value more you can bring on the table other than your, your competition. That's how you sell in today's time and age.
All right, so bring the value differentiator on the table. Sada Kaushal, if you've understood, just give a yes on the box. All right, more questions pouring in, man. I hope we are able to answer all these questions today. Ricky Agra, what should be the budget ration between branding and sales activities? So he's basically trying to know what should be the budget between branding and sales activities. So Ricky, as a thumb rule, of course, it will depend on the kind of business that you're into. But as a thumb rule, if you're into direct selling, then overall, around 10 to 12% of your gross receipt should be your budget for marketing and sales. And branding is very much a part of marketing. Ricky Agra, important चीज यहाँ पे ये है कि जब आपकी turnover कम रहती है, so normally people feel that when my turnover is high, I will start going for branding. But Ricky Agra, it's important to understand that even when your turnover is 1 rupee, You are still supposed to take out 10 paisa and keep it separately for branding and marketing. That's the only way that you can start branding. Because if you feel that when you become big, you will start branding, then maybe you will never become big. Because branding has to start on the first day. So that's one bit to Ricky Agra from my side. Joseph, what is your idea on marketing budgets and how do you handle them?
For me, it's 20%, even 20% I would like to put on the table on branding, Sanjay. That's the emphasis I put. Why? Because through branding, through marketing activities, I let my prospects know that, look, I am alive. Look, I've got this product and service. See, if people don't know what I have, I may have the best product in the whole world, but what use it is in my office, within my cubicle, it's useless. So I would put 20%. I would start, in fact, from 15%, Sanjay, and then go on to 20%. I will go on top of the roof of my office and keep on yelling and shouting till such time that it is registered in my prospect's mind that, look, here it is, my X brand, and this is the product and service. If you are interested, get in touch with this, and then I will ensure that my sales team is equipped and empowered with 21st century selling skills, and I close the deal. Back to you.
All
Sanjay.
right, super awesome. Joseph wants to get on top of the roof and start yelling. That's how important branding is, guys. So don't be clandestine about it. You have to get on top of the roof. I love that statement from Joseph. Get on top of the roof, start yelling who you are, why you are, what do you bring to the table. Fantastic. Mitesh Singhania from Raipur, you're welcome, man. Good evening, you're welcome. Yusuf Jamil sends us a question. Yusuf Jamil says, how can we pull in the customer to buy a product? How can we pull in the customer to buy a product? Yes, Joseph. How can we pull in a customer to buy a product? Yusuf.
I think the best way is to reach to your prospect, all right, and then get your product or service in front of him and see whether you can capture his attention first. Attention is the new currency, as they say. See whether he gets interested in whatever you have to offer. That interest could be 5%, 10%, 15, 20, we don't know for the moment. If he shows a little bit of interest, then you go to the end of this world to ensure that you travel with him. You show your product and service in the in the larger form, and see how you can interact with him and have a deal with him. That's how it is. First is get his attention on your product.
Fantastic, fantastic. I also want to ask Yusuf, why do you want to pull a customer, man? We are not ruffians. We salespeople, we are not ruffians. We are not gundas. We are professionals, right? Why do you want to pull anyone? We don't want to pull anyone. We want to influence people. We want to get on the side of the person. Our job is to help a customer buy. Our job is not to sell. Our job is to help a customer to make the best choice in a way that the best choice happens to be my product. That's my job. So Yusuf, don't try to pull a customer, man. आपकी बातों से ऐसा लगता है कि सेल्समैन कोई दरिंदा है जो कस्टमर को किसी तरह से घींचते, रगड़ते, ऐसा लेके आता है और बोलता मेरा सामान खरीद. No, it's not like that, my friend. It's a love affair. It's not any kind of animosity. Yeah, Yusuf. So if you have understood our answer, please say yes. All right. Thank you, Yusuf. There's a question pouring in. Trisect Institute. How has been your journey from being sales to entrepreneur? In other words, how important are sales skills for entrepreneurs? All right. That's very interesting. Trisect Institute. I would love to have your name as well because your question is very interesting. Can you quickly write your name in the box? All right. Meanwhile, Ricky Agra, Javed Akhtar, Santosh Tulsi, welcome, man. Lohia, 1320, Dilip Lohia, Vijay, Nipin Gambhir, and Sada Kaushal. Wonderful, wonderful, great. Joseph, your journey from a salesman to an entrepreneur, and what has been the changes?
Very tough. I will put it, I will put it right in front of you that it is very, very tough. But if you hang on there, if you handle the challenges well, you got to go through a lot of emotional turbulence, ups and downs, and sometimes you yourself, despite having the experience, exposure, expertise and capability, call what you may, till even then it can beat you to your knees sometime. Entrepreneurship, it looks very glamorous, but I say you should have 10 years for that with deep pockets. That's all. And my transition from sales to being an entrepreneur has been one such kind of challenge which I even grapple even today, Sanjay. Even today I am grappling. I am not complete. I am just WIP, work in progress.
All right.
And
I love
I
the
will tell you
words that you
pretty.
chose.
Yeah.
I really
What are
love,
your
Joseph,
thoughts,
the
Sanjay, on
words.
that?
I love the words that you choose, work in progress. I think anyone who doesn't become a ripe mango will always stay there on the tree. Because the moment the mango becomes ripe, the next stage is to fall down. So when Joseph says that I'm a permanently work in progress, he's actually trying to announce that keep on working, keep on rocking, because the moment you feel that your work is over, you will fall down. All right. So coming back to my own journey, I mean, I have been an entrepreneur in my mind right from day one. And so ever since, so I worked for 14 years, and after that, 98, came back to India and started on my own. Ever since 98, I'm as an entrepreneur. The question that how important is sales for an entrepreneur? I would say that understanding the function of sales will contribute as high as 60% to the success of your enterprise. And why do I say this? It's because sales is the only function which brings revenue to an organization. Every other function of management takes money. So quality department needs a budget, production department needs a budget, human resource department needs a budget. Every department wants money. They are all spending money. Sales is the only department which earns money. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're running an enterprise, you have to understand how to earn money, because if you don't understand how to earn money, then the only thing that you understand is how to spend money. And even if you belong to Dhirubhai Ambani's family, you are still going to finish off your money. So there is no well of money which can last you forever. So hence it's so important to understand the function of sales. Many people ask me that, should I be a great salesman? Well, you can hire a great salesman, but you should be a great sales manager. If you are an MSME, SME, if you are a small and medium business enterprise, you have to understand that you can hire sales professionals, but you need to learn how to manage them, because you may not be able to afford to have a professional sales manager. A professional sales manager today will take a salary of 3 to 5 lakhs of rupees per month, and I'm sure you can't afford it at this juncture. So you have to do that yourself. And that's why I feel it's so important to understand the function of sales. So thank you very much for that lovely question, Cricket Institute. Let me just check if there's any other question there. All right. So Joseph, any question on your screen from your followers?
I don't see any. Yeah, there is. Which is the main driving force of sales in Indian market? Quality, price. I think we have taken most of them,
Right.
Sanjay.
Okay.
I don't see any questions, Sanjay.
All right.
So
There's another question there from Kaushik Sutone. Kaushik asked this question: how to be ready for it with infrastructure development kind of industry in which we operate? So Kaushik, can you please elucidate your question? How to be ready for what? I didn't get your question, Kaushik. If you can repeat it, maybe we missed the thread, because that's an old question that you had asked. Kaushik, if you can reframe your question once again, I'll be grateful. All right, we have another question from Dixie7777. How can we sell life insurance in this situation? How can we convince people at this time? Okay, Joseph, how can we sell life insurance in COVID-19 times?
Yeah, selling insurance is one of the most toughest thing, you know, in the whole world. And now at this particular time, reaching the customer, I see is one of the most important barrier to break. So the best way to reach a customer now is to not even talk about insurance, not talk about selling anything. Just have a hook in your conversation in the initial. When you pick up the phone, your phone should be so very exciting in the hook that I give you an appointment, I give you a time at 6 o'clock, and tell me as a prospect, how can buying insurance from me make me, what is that? It is going to give me a peace of mind, right? How can that change my world? Show me that. Talk to me about that, and take from me the first 15 or 20 minutes. That's all.
All right, fantastic, Dixie.
And you just get 15 minutes. That's all. Over to you, Sanjay.
Dixie777. The hook has to be strong. That's the sermon from Joseph on you. I would like to say, and this has been my personal experience in these pandemic times, I have seen that inquiries which are there in the pipeline are generally making the excuse that let this pandemic times be over and then I'll talk to you. That has been the general trend. But one good discovery for me has been that during this pandemic times, when you want to make new leads, so when you want to talk to a totally new set of people whom you have not spoken to earlier, you are getting an excellent response. So my mantra there is, if you're in life insurance, as you keep on softly following up with your pipeline, but consciously invest some time in new lead generation, because conventionally people feel that this is not the right time for new lead generation because they don't know you, you don't know them. But I have a converse idea. I feel that new lead generation will happen best at this time, because two people starting afresh. Please remember, friends, and Dixie777, that your customer is as bored of staying in his house as you are. So your customer is also excited to talk to someone who is interesting. The important thing is, are you interesting to talk to? Do you know how to pitch yourself? Do you know how to talk benefits to the customer? If yes, then every customer is waiting for interesting people to call them and talk to them, because they are damn bored in this lockdown period. So Dixie, take my word, call for new leads, man. New lead generation, pandemic times, best time. So build your sales funnel. Make use of this time to add as many leads as possible to your sales funnel, so that by the time the market eases up a bit, you have all the time in the world to go and close them. Make use of this time to build your funnel, to make your funnel more robust. All right, thank you so much there. All right, let me just go. So let me welcome Being Meet Jassani, Sagar Bharani. All right, Chandar Khemchandani. Oh my God, Ramesh. All right, okay. Kaushik has asked the question again. Amazon is ramping up B2B model as well now. How to be ready for it? Yes, Kaushik, I fully agree that Amazon is ramping up the B2B model. So what is there to be ready for it? Either you're on the side of Amazon or you're against them. So if you are on the side of Amazon, enjoy the fruit. If you're against them, look for your pocket. Do you have enough money to fight Amazon? Is what I would like to tell you. So when the rape is inevitable, my friends, just lie down and enjoy. Don't try to force yourself. So no need to fight Amazon, Kaushik. I hope I have answered you there. If not, please repeat your question. Stormy Clicks, question to Sanjay. Okay, what tool do you personally use or recommend to track from leads to conversion? So Stormy Clicks, there are a lot of CRM softwares in the market. You have Zoho.com, you have HubSpot.com, you have Sugar.com. you have a whole lot of companies. The important thing is not the company really. The important thing, Stormy Clicks, is your understanding of the sales process. क्योंकि sales process एक सोच है. अगर आपकी सोच clear नहीं है, तो even if you get a software, you're not going to do anything out of it. So software will not decide your success. First, structure your process from leads to closing. What is the process? What are the milestones? What is the turnaround time? And once you have done that manually well, then go in for any kind of automation. If you ask my quick recommend top 3, it's HubSpot, Zoho, Sugar right now. All right. Okay. Joseph, what is your take on that?
I think I'm using Zoho, and that works well, Sanjay. I've used Zoho, and if you're a small company, you can manage things. I don't want you to go and invest too much money into all these things now for the moment. Okay, if it is possible, do it manually. If it is, it's a need, identify the difference between the want and need. If it is a needed thing, go for it. Otherwise, avoid it. Keep your money to generate more leads, man. Now is the time to generate more leads. We are in quiet times. We are in COVID-19 time. Generate lead. Keep your pipeline full. Every day, have 5, 6, 7 people to talk to. Sales will come. Sales will
Fantastic.
come. Spend all this money there.
Generate leads. That's the mantra, guys. Already 40 minutes into this program, and I didn't even realize. I thought we had just started. Super excited. Awesome talking to all of you. Wonderful. Dilip Lohia asked a question. Sanjay sir, in pandemic period, how to receive professional fees as there is whole world affected? Well, Dilip Lohia, I would like to tell you that you will charge a professional fees only when someone needs your profession. So whether pandemic times or no pandemic times, if someone needs your profession, they bloody well pay for it. Now the broader part of the question, Dilip Lohia, is that how to make your profession felt, the need felt in the market. Because I know, Dilip Lohia, you're a chartered accountant, and the market might feel that, okay, I can delay this. I can delay a chartered accountant service for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Heavens are not going to fall. So Lohia, the important thing for you to understand is, can I create a service which the customer cannot afford to delay? If yes, go ahead, because प्रोफेशनल फीस तो तभी देगा जब आपकी प्रोफेशन की जरूरत है उसको, और आपकी प्रोफेशन की जरूरत है कि नहीं, ये काम हमारा आपका है. So let's work on it. Thank you very much, Dilip Lohia, for joining. Chartered accountants joining in a sales program. Isn't that awesome, Joseph?
Yeah, it's incredible, Sanjay. It's incredible the kind of people we are having. The raining questions. It's such a joy to answer and eliminate whatever doubts our audience may be having, and I'm pretty jazzed up, Sanjay.
Fantastic. Next question coming up to you is from Sada Kaushal. Sada Kaushal, how to convince a prospect to do advance payment to purchase commodity in a B2B market? Joseph.
Yeah.
Advance payment in a B2B market.
I will tell you, first you understand the need deeply, Sharda, Kaushik, and then be very, very authenticate, be very, sell with integrity and dignity, and ask for what you believe is worth yours. All right. I call this as peer positioning. All right. When you position yourself in front of the customer, never find yourself needy or, going with a begging ball. You position yourself as equal and say that, to really serve you well, I expect that, this is the system we follow. 50% is advance. In fact, in Corona times, we have taken 50% down from customers. And when they need your services, when they need your product, when you have built incredible, you can say reputation in front of them, they know that you are the person who's going to solve their problem, who's going to, add value in their business through your product or service, then customers normally don't hesitate to, to actually follow your instructions and get the relationship and get the work going, move forward. Back to you, Sanjay.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Supraja Donepudi did not like the rape statement. I'm sorry for that statement, Supraja. I withdraw that statement. All right, thank you very much for bringing that up. Thank you so much, Supraja Donepudi. All right, let me move forward. All right, Loya says thank you. Mahua Farhan, welcome to the program. All right, so for the moment we have answered the questions that have come, Joseph. Joseph, there is a strong statement that always comes up where a lot of non-sales people, they kind of feel that the job of selling is that of begging. So many non-sales persons feel that a salesman is a beggar. What is your take on it?
I completely reject this statement, Sanjay. I despise this statement, you know, and all through my life, 25 years in sales, I've always, you know, gone with a certain level of conviction in the product or service I sold. And I see myself as, you know, I do that peer positioning. That means I'm equal to a customer. Why do I say equal? See, Sanjay, when I'm selling you something, all right, that something, it could be a product or service, is benefiting you. Yes or no?
Yes, of course.
Correct? And you are giving me money in return. Money is what? Just a medium of exchange, Sanjay. There is a value exchange happening. Absolutely correct.
Absolutely.
It cannot be an equation where I lose, customer wins, where customer loses, I win. No, it has to be a win-win equation for all the stakeholders involved. So that's a certain level of understanding that I pitch myself as equal, peer. That's it. I never, and I will also give this tip to all the audience listening. We come under, entrepreneurs come under this kind of pressures. Entrepreneurs, you know, do whatever 30, 40, 50%, you know, in the end of the month, and last week of the month, to ensure that they get some, you know, they generate revenue and they just move on. I tell them, spend money on your leads, man. Keep your leads pipeline full. Keep your pipeline full. Let there be people to talk to, and you will not have a day spending in stress, and you know, you're thinking from where the next sale is going to happen. Back to you, Sanjay. What is your thought, Sanjay? Tell me.
Fantastic. Yeah, I despise that statement. In fact, I want to meet everyone who feels that salesman is a beggar, because if the salesman was a beggar, there are a lot of salespeople who actually behave like beggars, and I call them as, I mean, they are actually not salespeople. So for me, salesman cannot be a beggar, because why should you transact with a beggar? Why should anyone in this world do a transaction with a beggar? Because you throw arms at a beggar and that's it. So you throw your arms, whatever you feel like. But here, to a salesman, you buy a service or a product and you give a price that the salesman wants. So there is a value transaction, definitely. There is a risk on the table which you are mitigating by talking to a salesperson. In fact, on a lighter note, Joseph, I strongly believe in this story. And I created this story some time back, and I'm a strong believer of this story. So, you know, Joseph, this story runs like this, that when this earth was formed by God, I believe in God. So when earth was formed by God, he chose small insects to be dropped on the earth first. So he dropped small insects on the, like ant and flies. And then he dropped the bigger animals like tigers and them, you know. And then he said that, no, my earth is not yet complete. So then he chose to drop human beings, right? And then he chose Adam and Eve, and then the Adam's family and the Eve's family, and the whole world was born. And then God was sitting at some corner and said, no, my earth is not yet complete. And then he said that I need some special characters. So he brought in a Spider-Man, a Batman, a Superman, a Shakti-Man. And he said, okay, now my earth is full and now my earth can run on its own. And you know, Joseph, when he was sitting back calmly, trying to enjoy his cup of coffee the way you are right now, he said that, no, man, something is still missing. And that is the time he took this decision to drop a salesman on earth. That's how powerful my salesman is. A salesman was brought on earth to ensure that earth becomes complete. And that's my belief. That's where the story runs, Joseph, that if not for a salesman, the economics of transaction cannot be completed. It cannot be completed. It cannot be completed. So for me, every salesman on earth is responsible for economics to be happening, whichever part of the world. Thank you so much for that wonderful answer. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just 10 minutes more into this chat. We promised you a 1-hour chat. It's already 9:50. 10 minutes more into this chat. You may not get this opportunity every time to ask a question live to Joseph Das and myself. Just pour your question. Let me quickly check if I have missed out on any question there. Okay, Rahul Bajaj says that's a superb story. Thank you, Rahul. All right. Loia says value of a salesman. Perfect. Fantastic. Wonderful. Okay, great. So as we have 10 more minutes into this program, Joseph, and this pandemic times is troubling everyone. It's bothering everyone. And there are some people who are clueless about it. All right, there's a question which has just come. I want to make maximum use of B2B focus of Amazon, not resisting it. Oh, okay, Kaushik. Okay, Kaushik. Thank you very much for coming back there. You have got the point. All right. Thank you so much there. All right. Okay. So I was just trying to, there's another question that's coming. Akil Business. Hello, sir. I want to say I work as a sales rep. There are far better products in the market than of my company, so we don't get sales. How to deal with this? I would answer this question after you, Joseph.
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah, Sanjay, you were saying something?
Yeah, I just wanted to repeat his question, that he says that he's a sales rep, but he's not convinced with his own product and doesn't know how to get sales.
So if you are not convinced, if you don't see, if you don't believe in what you're selling, 50% of the battle is already lost. All right. I tell that, you even before selling your product to someone, come from the perspective of a buyer. First, before you sell, buy your product. Can you buy your product? Yes, no. If the answer is no, then you will lack the conviction, and the customer will see through, and he'll not get convinced, because you yourself inside within you, you know that your product or service is not worth their salt. So always first is to believe. Apart from that, I tell people, there are product and service. You may think that your product is inferior. Go down your warehouse, go down your store, call for your research and development, your service manager, ask him for a presentation. I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 compelling reasons or compelling factors which will be your unique value differentiator, which you can highlight in front of the customer, and you can checkmate your competition. Back to you, Sanjay.
Perfect. I think we are very much in sync with that answer. So Akhil Business, whenever you are not getting confidence in your product, you should go and meet your existing customers. Because if someone has paid his valuable money to buy your product, so just go and meet your existing customer, make it look like a service call, and find out from him what was the reason behind his buying that product. And you will get those compelling reasons that why those customers bought the product. Because a lot of times we look at the product from our perspective. No, we don't have to look at the product from our perspective. We have to look at the product from customer's perspective. And many a times when you don't get belief in the product, go to some customers, ask them indirectly, understand from them why they bought your product, and then convince yourself, buy the product in your mind yourself. If you are still not convinced, I repeat, if you're still not convinced, stop selling that product. Because you cannot feign ignorance. If you are not convinced about a product, you will not be able to sell that product. So whichever way, convince yourself. So I'm very much for you, Akhil. If you're finding this as a challenge, go and convince yourself, meet some of your customers, and I'm sure that will help you out, my friend. All right, guys, 9 more minutes. I think 9 more minutes into this discussion as we take this forward. And I want to quickly understand from you, Joseph, that into sales, I know that we have spent most of our life into sales. What are the challenges that you find when you want to train another salesman? Because training yourself, empowering yourself is one thing. Becoming a great salesman is one thing. But making another person a great salesman. So what are the challenges you see there?
Number one challenge I see, Sanjay, is first of all, a great question. This question is always closer to my heart, Sanjay, which only a fellow, a sales coach will understand. A very, very good question. I'll tell you, the number one problem is many people, most of them can see, Sanjay. Most of them can see, but very few people have got vision. Okay. Now, this is Joseph Das, as fondly called JD. Now he's going back 30 years and giving his opinion to the younger JD at 20. I will tell you, first of all, people think, Sanjay, that sales is kind of, it's already got a taboo. It's a tough job. It is not that interesting. People put you down. You become demoralized, demotivated, and all those are the negatives of the sales. I tell people, where is a job which has no challenges? You tell me that. In fact, for me, because I'm a people's person, I love people. It has always been so refreshing. Okay, rejection happens, people put you down, all this, but it should be like water on a duck's back today, correct? But Sanjay, 20 years back, if I was born now, Sanjay, like you, in this internet times, in this times of sales coaches and mentors, Sanjay, in 10 years, I would have mastered and empowered myself. This is the selling skills and the temperament, the right, mindset, the right skill set, and the right action steps. Sanjay, in 10, 15 years, I would sell aeroplanes. Sanjay, I would sell, Lamborghinis, and I will sell the most expensive product. एक साल में मेरे को एक या दो डील चाहिए और I will become a deal. I will become a deal maker. That's it. Period. Can you see the vision in my mind? कहां तक आप जा सकते हैं sales में? And you said it very rightly, Sanjay. Today, in good times, remove Corona from the equation. In good times, the economy of a country moves just because a salesman at this particular time, look out of the window, is selling something to someone. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how recession proof. That's how important is a job. No product or service moves from one hand to another unless and until there is a sales guy, coming into the whole picture. And to me, Sanjay, if you send me back 30 years, boy, I would be selling some most expensive product or service, and I am going to make a lot of money through that too. What do you think, Sanjay? What's your thoughts on that? Tell me, friend.
Fantastic. I have been into sales coaching myself for almost last 28 years. And I can tell you that the biggest challenge into sales coaching is attitude building. There are a lot of skill sets. So how to generate leads, how to handle customers, how to negotiate, how to close, how to do customer service, how to do CRM. These are all areas which are trainable. Attitude of the person is something which is not trainable. And that's the biggest challenge that I find when as a sales coach, when I'm trying to train someone. And attitude build-up always takes more time if the person is not cooperative. All right, there's a big thank you. Bala Krishna says, thank you, JD and Sanjay, for the amazing live session. I feel energized. Thank you very much, Bala. Thank you for your participation, guys. Just 3 more minutes and we are finishing off. I hope you stay here to see us off. Thank you, Bala. So attitude building is a big challenge, really. And I request all those of you who are there in this program right now to consciously look at your attitude, because many a times you yourself don't know what attitude you're carrying. So that's very important. That's very important, that you should consciously work on your attitude and hand yourself totally to a coach, because the coach takes you where you want to go only if you are able to hand yourself totally. If you hand yourself to a coach with questions and terms and condition, then I don't think this works well. So Dixie 777 says, when are we meeting again on live session? All right. So Dixie, that's a good question that will encourage us to come back. All right, guys, we had just logged off, going live with JD and Sanjay, live Tete talk. The call suddenly snapped off. We are asking all of you to join back. And as I'm asking JD also to join back, because this was quite abrupt. All right, Yusuf Jamil has joined back. Virendra Vyas joined back. All right, thank you so much. Let me just pay Joseph Das to join back. Okay. All right, so I'm just asking Joseph Das to join back. All right, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Joseph is joining me back shortly. All right, we have Joseph back there again. I think Instagram has this cutoff time for 1 hour, so it got snapped off. I didn't realize that we have covered 1 hour already. So wonderful. Yes, we are sitting on 63 minutes now. All right, but people are joining back. And let's give them some time. Arun Agarwal, Reena Singh, you are welcome back. All right, we have Gauri Khode, Dilip Lohia, all are back. My God, they seem to be loving sales, man. All right, Santosh Benevolent, Santosh Tulsi is back. Fantastic, man. Yusuf Jamil is back. Thank you so much. All right, guys, so we had an abrupt break there. Instagram didn't want us to continue beyond 1 hour, but then who can stop Salesman from coming back? So here you have Mr. Joseph Das, co-founder, sales5x.com, Sanjay Singh, myself, consultforsales.com, before all of you, back after the 1 hour session. We are almost done there. But I thought that I don't want to go out on an abrupt note. So we have actually come back to say thank you to all of you. So let me just wait for some time before everyone joins in. All right, Anand Mohan, late joining. Anand, we are almost about finishing, man. Rafiq, Shafiq, Jahir Kashif. You're welcome, Jahir Kashif from JJ Plast. All right, thank you so much. Great. So Joseph, that we have come back, one last question to you and me so that we could actually wrap it after that. Teacher Deep has joined. All right, so one last question. Does a salesman earn enough money to make a fortune? So a lot of people feel that salesmen are not very rich people. I don't agree to it, but I want your comments on that.
I will throw a quote here, Sanjay. I will throw a quote here, and the quote says that academic education will help you make a living, but self-education will help you make a fortune. So if you upgrade, if you upskill, if your knowledge bank is vast, because sales is a huge, massive ocean, and if people notice you in the room when you are interacting with your peers, with your top management or your colleagues, then you should know that you are the smartest person in the room, and there is all hope and chances that you can make a good amount of money in sales. Here is the living proof. There is a living proof. Mr. Sanjay, right in front of you. We are pretty successful people. We have, had our promotions, our incentives, our pleasure trips, our gifts in kinds, you name it, we have got it. and even now we are successful entrepreneurs. So what makes you believe that you can't make money? You can make a hell of a lot of money, man. As simple as that, Sanjay. Back to you, Sanjay.
Perfectly, guys. So all those of you there who believe that salesman is a poor man, probably you have not met the right salespeople. All those of you who believe that salesman is not a professional, probably you have not met one. So salesman is very much a professional. I'll give you my own example. I did my engineering. I did my MBA from USA. Worked at McKinsey Consulting. Worked across the world in US, UK, and Africa. And still today, if someone asks me, who are you? I very proudly, with my collar up, say with a lot of confidence that I'm a salesman. All right. So that's the power of a salesman, friend. You cannot take it away from a sales professional. He is a psychologist. He understands the subject, not of one industry vertical, but of hundreds of industry verticals. He talks to people who are senior, much senior to him. He talks to CEOs of companies and convinces CEOs on their business. And this is only possible that he understands their business better than him. And that's the way he's able to talk in his language. So what makes you feel that a salesman is poor in any respect? I mean, I'm talking about not only Saraswati, not only Lakshmi, but even on Saraswati, you can't match a salesman. So a salesman is a great combination of Saraswati and Lakshmi put together, guys. Do not ever mistake a salesman to be a poor man if he is the right kind of salesperson. Because if you see a rich doctor, I can show you 100 doctors who are not rich because they are not the right kind of doctors. So you go to any profession, you will find good and bad. And same thing applies to sales as well. You will find good as well as bad. But don't ever mistake a salesperson to be anyone inferior or anyone less powerful. So I'm perfectly on sync with that. And as we come towards the end of this 1 hour, 5 minutes extra into this 1 hour, I want to thank Joseph Das, JD as he is fondly called, co-founder Sales5x.com, from the bottom of my heart to have agreed to be a part of this Tete meeting, which we promise that we'll do a two-way meeting with each other. It has been a great pleasurable experience, and I'm sure all of you there have enjoyed every bit of it. Please don't forget to put your feedback into the comments below so that it encourages us to come back and do another live session. Because if you don't get your feedback, then the loss is entirely yours. We're not going to come back. So on that note, a big thank you to all of you there. A big thank you to Joseph Das. And till we meet again on a similar program, this is Sanjay Singh signing off on behalf of Joseph Das and Sanjay Singh and all my crewmates and teammates who put this program together. Thank you very much, guys, for joining both of us on this live session. Joseph, thank you very much and good night to all of you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you. God bless.
God bless.